Dawid Malan, well played. It was a good match for Middlesex, wasn't it? 117 run victory, and perhaps with the declaration it was a slightly bigger victory than that, wasn't it? But obviously you had to declare this morning for the time left in the game.
Yeah, we did. It was probably back to an old school Lord's wicket, and that suits the way we play. It was nice for guys to actually bat in a wicket where they could sort of trust their defences and get some runs, and it showed that if we do play as well as we can in conditions that suit us, we can get big scores and win games of cricket.
It was a match you had to get in though, wasn't it? As a batsman, there were 4 centurions, and they were comfortably the biggest scorers of the match, weren't they?
They were, yeah, and I think there were a lot of poor shots as well, especially from our players in between. Whether that was the symptom of green wickets and trying to score as quickly as they can to sort of get their runs, who knows? But it's a good win for us, but there's still a lot of improvement for us to be made as a team.
The stat that's been floating around this summer, it's the worst summer for batsmen's averages since 1973. As a batsman, especially as one who has aspirations to be in that Test side, it's not particularly helpful for batsmen across the country, indeed in your team as well.
No, it isn't, and especially playing at Lord's, which is one of the best grounds in the world, you sort of usually expect certain things. So it was disappointing in a year from a personal point of view when you wanted to have some good wickets to be able to score runs to get back into the mix, and then from a team point of view as well, we've got a lot of good players struggle this year. We've had a lot of people want people's heads and so on in our team when the conditions were really tough, and it's shown how many games we won at Lord's, and you can say whatever you want about what people are averaging, but if we're winning games at Lord's and our averages are better than other teams guys batting at Lord's, so it sort of evens itself out.
What would you like to see change? I mean, obviously Lord's has had its problems this year, but across the country in terms of giving batsmen a fairer chance.
Look, I wouldn't say giving them a fairer chance. I said I think we've got to make up their minds if you want to have a heavy roller or if you want to have a toss rule. It's quite tough now. The toss rule was brought into 8 spinners, and we've not played a spinner at Lord's in 4 games this year. We haven't bowled the ball spin of a first line spinner for the last 4 or 5 games we played. So, if the toss rule was brought in for the spinners, it's not working. So something needs to be looked at there.
And for Middlesex, they climb back up into 4th in the table. Derbyshire obviously beat Middlesex earlier in the season, so it was a win that I'm sure you all wanted in the dressing room to go out and prove a point in this division again.
It was, that was a tough game against Derbyshire. They thoroughly outplayed us in the first game, but we had 3 of our bowlers go down on one day, and we were left with one main spinner and a part-time spinner bowling the majority of our overs. So, from that point it was tough. Derbyshire massively outplayed us in that game, and they deserved to win. And so it was nice to come here and put a good result on the board and put a good performance.
That was a sucker punch for Middlesex to lose Toby Rowland-Jones early in the season. He was Player of the Year, wasn't he, when Middlesex won the title. Is that something in the second half of the season, though, that performances and results have picked up to take into next year? When hopefully Rowland-Jones and some of those others that have been injured are back. Yeah,
we're probably going to have 5, 6 or 7 players available again next year, and it was a good opportunity to see where a couple of our young players are at, and to see which guys are worth backing and so on. So that from that point of view, that's really good as well. But yeah, look, it's disappointing that we didn't go up. We've won double the amount of games this year than we won last year. It just shows Division 2 you probably have to win 9 games to get promoted, and to do that we're going to need our best players fit and strong and performing well to do that.
On a personal note, obviously the squad's announced today. When did they give you a call?
I haven't had a call actually. I just saw when we came off, so that's the way it goes. It's, as you said, we spoke earlier, when you're playing on wickets that do seem to be doing all sorts and so on, it's really tough to get the big hundreds under your name and make a case for yourself.
You didn't see it tee then, because I think that was when it just dropped when you were walking back out. You obviously didn't know at that point.
No, I didn't know then. I didn't really look at my phone at tee. So look, from that point of view, I'm obviously disappointed. I've had 5 innings since the winter, and sort of been pushed on. So it would have been nice to get the backing some other players are getting, but that's the way it goes. I had the chance to score runs in county cricket and put my hand up, and unfortunately I didn't score as many runs as I should.
Do you know what your plans are for the winter now? Have you looked ahead that far?
Yeah, I'm definitely in Bangladesh in January. I'm waiting for a few other tournaments, the auctions and things are coming forward in the next week or 2 weeks or so we'll find out then.
Season's not dead yet. There's one more game to go up at Durham. Probably won't be a batsman's paradise either up there, but obviously you'll want to go up there and try and finish with the win for the team.
Yeah, it'd be good. It'd be nice to finish with 7 wins, and then we'd be able to look back and sort of go, there were 1 or 2 games that we sort of especially the Kent game here last week when we had them 80 for 7. If you look back and you win that and you go, that's 8 wins in the summer out of the 14, and you sort of would have been pushing for promotion. So it is disappointing, but hopefully we can go up there, win, finish on a high, and get a win under our belts.